Good morning, this is Kasturi Day. Today I am going to start with a new chapter according to ICSE syllabus class 8. It is the nervous system in humans. Okay, so uh, first we come to the introduction of this chapter. See, all organs of our body, they depend on each other to perform a function. We know that. So, the activities that occur inside our body require a proper coordination within the organs. For example, see, when we have our food, our nose smells the food, our eyes helps to locate the food, our hands bring the food to the mouth, the jaw muscles and the teeth chew and masticate the food, the saliva lubricates and initiates the process of digestion. Then all these activities occur in a coordinated manner. So all the activities which are taking place in our body that occur in a proper coordination. Okay, so the organ systems that bring about this coordination and integration of different body activities, this is known as the nervous system. Okay, the organ system. Now our nervous system is also an organ system. So this organ system, this nervous system brings about the coordination, this type of coordination and integration of different body activities. Okay, so that is the nervous system. Now this system is constituted by different organs. We know that organ system is composed of different organs. So what are the organs which are involved in the system? These are the brain, spinal cord and a network of nerves which act in coordination with each other to bring about this nervous coordination. Okay, now this nervous coordination along with the chemical coordination, they all respond to stimuli. Okay, now what is this chemical coordination is brought about by hormones. Okay, or by the endocrine glands which are secreted by the endocrine glands. Okay, so this nervous coordination is brought about by the organs which are involved in this nervous system, that is brain, spinal cord and a network of nerves. And chemical coordination is brought about by the hormones secreted by the endocrine glands. And both this coordination, that is chemical coordination and nervous coordination, they all respond to stimuli. Now see, what is a response? So I told you that it responds to stimuli. So what is that response? Response is the reaction of the body to the stimulus. Now we come to stimulus. What is stimulus? Stimulus is something that encourages or causes an activity. See, when we touch a hot object, which just remove our hand immediately we remove our hand. Okay, so our hand has responded to the stimulus. Stimulus is what? The hot object. That hot object is that something which encourages or causes an activity. What is that activity? Activity is to remove a hand from the hot object. See, so the stimulus can be two types, that is external or internal. External stimulus, that is which is received from the external environment, like touching a hot object, withdrawing the hand immediately. So that is the external stimulus. And then internal stimulus is arising from within the body of the organism, like hunger, thirst, fear, etc. These all are internal stimuli. Next we come to some important terms which are related to this nervous system. So first one is nerve impulse. Nerve impulse is an electrical signal or pulse by which various messages are transferred inside the body. Okay, so it's an electrical signal or pulse by which various messages are transferred inside the body. Then we come to stimulus, the change in the external or internal environment of an organism that arouses a specific reaction within the body of the organism. Like I told you, it's an something which is some change, that is, it is an external or internal change. It can be changing in the environment. Okay, like the hot object, which is the object is hot in comparison to the other objects in the environment. So it is an external environmental change. Okay, so that is causing a specific reaction within the body, which is creating the body to act against that hot object and removing a hand from that object. Okay, so it can be sound, light, smell, pain, or touch. Then animals respond to stimulus in order to keep themselves in the favorable conditions. Okay, why they respond to stimuli? So that they can remain stable, they can remain calm in that favorable condition. Okay, so because when we are touching the hot object, for example, when we are touching the hot object, that is creating a pain to our hand. That's why we are removing the hand. No, so this kind of pain is not favorable for our body to keep calm. So we are removing a hand. So we are removing a hand to keep ourselves calm and in peace. Then what is response? Response is a specific reaction occurring within the body of an organism as a result of the stimulus. Then animals that do not respond to stimuli do not survive long. Many babies are born who do not respond to stimulus, like they cannot hear properly, they cannot respond to light. So sometimes they cannot respond to any of the sensory stimulus. So that kind of baby does not cannot live long. Okay, then receptors are special cells that are present in the sense organs to detect stimulus. Effectors are the cells of the organs that show the response or receiving the nerve impulse from the brain or the spinal cord. See, receptors are receiving the stimulus and effectors are responding to that stimulus. Receptors are the sense organs which receive the stimulus, and the effectors are the muscles which act according to the receptors, according to the signals which are sent by the receptors to the central nervous system or the nervous system, which are giving back the signal or impulse to the effectors, to the muscles to act accordingly. Okay. Next, we come to neurons or the nerve cells. Now, neurons, they are the basic structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Nervous system, the basic structure and functional unit is the neuron, or you can say nerve cell. The nerve cell or neuron is the largest cell in our body. The messages or impulse are received and transmitted to all the parts of the body through these neurons. The human brain is estimated to have 100 billion neurons. Now, if we come to the structure of the neuron, see, there are three parts in a neuron, main three parts. One is cell body, which we call as cyton. Then a tail, okay, that is known as axon, okay, and some branches which come out from the cyton, they are known as dendrites. Okay, now one of these dendrites that grow long as a tail, that is known as axon. Okay, a single long fiber that grows. Then the cyton that contains the nucleus, the cyton, which is the cell body. See the big brown colored middle part, that is the cyton, which is having the nucleus in the middle. Okay. Then see, the axon is the long fiber, single long fiber, that is the axon, and the dendrites are the many short dendrons which arise from the cell body, which again divide to form dendrites. They receive the messages from the other neurons. Okay. Now this structure extends, this neuron, this extends from the other side of the cell body. This axon that extends from the other side of the cell body, and it is covered by a sheath that is known as myelin sheath. Okay, this myelin sheath is not continuous. Okay, now most parts of the this myelin sheath is also a most important part. I mean, this axon is the most important part of the neuron. This myelin sheath is not continuous. It is breaking in some portions. So that portion where there is the myelin sheath is not present, that is known as the node of Ranvier. Okay, and the myelin sheath where it is covered, there remains the Schwann cell. The axon terminal is very similar to that of the dendrites. They also receive the messages or pass on the message. I mean, here the axons, they pass on the message, and dendrites, they receive the messages. Okay, so this is the structure of the nerve cell. Now see, the myelin sheath, that has a layer of, it is a layer of fatty insulating structure. It prevents the mixing of the impulses from the adjacent nerves. It is this nerve, this fiber is covered with this myelin sheath because it protects the nerve impulse from mixing from the adjacent nerve. And the gap between the two myelin sheath is the node of Ranvier. I told you this, it's not continuous, it's breaking in between. That the portion which do not have the myelin sheath, that is known as the node of Ranvier. Okay, so I'm stopping here. I'll continue with the rest of the chapter in my next video. Please go through this. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Please write in the comment box. And if you like the video, press the like button. And if you are a new viewer to my channel or not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to get the notification of my next video. Thank you.